Mike Barlek here to entertain you with the help of Winger. Break it out! I'm on a mission, being caught between heaven and hell. My guitar is my ammunition. Sound, raise the flag, sound the mission bell. Everybody wants control over me. Only way to get it's over my dead body. Take no prisoners, open fire, battle station! Someone tries to brainwash me, battle station! I made my peace with caffeine. Well, actually, point is, I know exactly the milligrams per day I need to keep up with 2 jobs and still have a YouTube channel. Anyways, I finally saw the third Bill and Ted movie. That song is actually Battle Station from Wingers from the second movie, which I have on soundtrack. But I finally got a chance to watch the new Bill and Ted. I bought it when it first came out, but I kept putting off watching it because I wanted to watch it with family, and I finally had the money to go pick up my sister and brother-in-law for a little visit, so we watched some movies, including Bill and Ted Face the Music. It was just as stupid as the first two. I loved it. Sometimes you just gotta sit back and watch a stupid movie. I thought the actresses who played the daughters of Bill and Ted, who were basically the female versions of the two guys, I think they obviously did their homework. You did a good job capturing the mannerism of Bill and Ted, in, to make the female version. I think one of my favorite lines from the new movie is when the dad says, "You guys gotta get real jobs or be role models for your daughters." Oh, what am I talking about? You are role models for your daughters. They're 24 and they live at home. They're unemployed. But the actresses that played the daughters, they did a good job. They actually left me wishing they had a little more. They had a fair amount of screen time, but they did leave me wishing I had there was a little more screen time for those characters. But obviously the story centers around the two guys, Bill and Ted. My only 2 complaints. What happened to the good robot us's? And where the hell was Station? Maybe they did reference it, but I'll have to watch it. Maybe on a second rewatch, I'll get it all. But, oh man! So of course, since I've seen it, I've been playing to pass the time and keep myself entertained in the mundane work life. I've been playing scenes from the second movie in my head. It's especially in the second movie, Bogus Journey, it's the subtle humor that gets me. Like when they're in heaven and they go to God to get help, to help them build something. And God says, one word, station. And they're kind of surprised when it turns out the scientist is a extraterrestrial, and Death is like, "You expected the universe's most brilliant scientist to be from Earth?" And Bill's like, "Well, yeah." It's the subtlety that makes it the funniest. Like when Station's done building the good robot us's and Bill and Ted are praising him up and down. "Oh, Station, you're awesome," all this stuff. And Death, he gets jealous. "What about me? I made the wigs. I was shopping. All right, Death. I was pushing the cart. All right, Death." It's a subtle humor. Other movies that we watched in our little visit last weekend was Rocket Man. between the age of 13 and 14, I was really getting into Elton John. I'm sure at some point my father told me when I was a child that he was gay, whatever. But when the authorities took us away, anything my father told me went out the window anyways. But when I did figure it out, you know how it is when you're a kid, you let things bother you. Now I don't care, but I think I subtly, as I turned 14, 15, I wouldn't admit that I liked Elton John. Now I don't care. The guy makes good music. But anyways, Rocket Man was a good movie. And then that quote horror movie we watched, Megan, that was weird. It wasn't really scary. It was just weird. But horror movies have to be set in the past to be any good these days. The story has to be set like 20 years ago at least for the horror movie to work. Okay, I also wanted to mention, because for the benefit of people of like the first 50 or so subscribers, because I seem to be on my way to 100 subscribers now, but for the benefit of the first 40, 50 subscribers that were subscribed to my channel while I moved to my new home and everything. I used to live in a trailer, anyway, without heat and running water. But anyways, yeah, I was kind of forced into a situation where I had to ixnay on that place. But I found out through the grapevine. Now, I'm not 100% sure about this. I found out at church. This woman, I don't know exactly what she does for a living, but it's something to do with the public sector and problems in our society and stuff. It was going on and on about, during the prayers and concern about the problem of homelessness in the city where I used to live. And the problem of homelessness, especially among young people. And she mentioned that a young teenager had been found sleeping and living in an abandoned trailer. I couldn't help but wonder, I wonder. I did leave a bed in there. I think a blanket too. Glad I could help. And I also found out recently that there are new squatter laws in the state. Squatters' rights. So if that kid was living there for 30 days, they're going to have a hell of a time getting him out of there. But of course, the kid would have to know his rights and everything. And the system takes advantage all the time of people who don't know their rights. But hey, if the kid was desperate enough and he just stayed put, you find an SJW lawyer would be like, hey, a job for me, yay! Speaking of systematic and progressive oppression within a society, next topic for discussion. I stand with Israel because in my opinion, genocide is more evil than oppression. And to think that those are my choices. If Israel is on a power trip, like my father says, it could be because the U.S. helped give them the power to protect themselves. After all, they are a little landmass, a little country amongst a bigger landmass. The persecution of Israel and the slaughter of Jewish people goes back to biblical times. There's never going to be peace over there. You figure humanity would have grown up by now, but I guess not. There's never going to be peace, because apparently human beings are not capable of learning. And there are, in my opinion, these people are mentally retarded, but there are leftoids that would say, no, nothing happened before 1619. Nothing happened. What? College, mentally retarded. You go to college to become to become mentally retarded. You want to be mentally retarded? Go to college. That seems to be the thing these days. You want to be mentally retarded? Go to college. But it really is sad to think that that's my choice. I got to either support genocide or support oppression. Because, it's true, Israel didn't do everything right, with the whole water and resources and crap. But, yeah, it's just amazing that those are my choices in this modern, progressive world. I have only three things to say about that. America first, America first, America first! Humanity better hope there is a God, because that is the only way this is all going to end well for humanity. So, and that brings me to the next topic for discussion. I said on my video short, Why Did God Create the World?, that I would elaborate a little more in a longer video, so that's what I'm going to do here. So why did God choose to create? When I was 9 years old, I'm a survivor of child abuse. I'm not going to go into that. I've made plenty of videos in the past. I got over 1,000 videos on this channel, so go back and look them up if you want more details about that. But I am a survivor. I was a victim of child abuse. Emphasis on the word was. My father allowed very little activity outside the home for myself and my sisters. But I do remember one summer, I was about 9 years old, we were allowed to go to this Bible study at this family down the street from our house. And I was 9 years old, and I asked the question, why did God create the world? And the answer I was given wasn't even by the guy instigating the whole meeting and everything. It was actually either by his maybe daughter or assistant. It was a female. I remember it was a female who answered my question. But I asked the question, why did God create the world, 9 years old, at this Bible study down the road from our house? And the answer I was given is, he didn't want to be alone. When I was 9 years old, I had nothing to say because my mind was blown. But as I matured and developed my own ideas, I concluded that there was more to it than that. God wanted to experience imperfection. Us humans are the result of God's imperfection. Old Testament. In the New Testament, God decides we are not a mistake and loves us unconditionally, and only repent is necessary to know God. Or as in the Christian philosophy, they always say the Christian version is God so loved the world he gave his only son. I also stated in that video short that I would share why this picture in the foreground of many of my video shorts is important to me. I lucked out, and there's a large one of this hanging in the church I go to, but I lucked out and found this for $3 at the Goodwill. And the reason why I love this picture, if you notice, it's Jesus knocking on the door, and if you notice, the door has no doorknob. And there's a fundamental reason for this. God doesn't want mindless slaves who just follow the leader. Like some human powers that be that'll go unmentioned for this video's purpose. But yeah, that's the whole point. There is no doorknob on the door because you, the human being, you're the one who has to accept God into their heart, into their mind, into their life. God doesn't want slaves. I love that concept. I love it. Oh, geez. Okay, I didn't want the video to be quite this long. But okay, I also wanted to cover some stuff I'm dealing with health and stuff. I've been doing good now. Even coming home from work, I figured out the exact milligram I need now of caffeine, how much is too much and how much is not enough. With working 2 jobs and still be able to work out when I get home. Strength training. I don't have to worry too much about cardio. Especially since I work, even working overtime at my first job. So I'm what they call a money-making machine. And you know what? It's all right because all that money's mine. But I need to make more time for my upper body workout. I decided I needed to do that because, sure, I can just eat less and I'll lose weight, but I don't want a worker's body. I don't want to have like real skinny legs and thighs and a fat upper body. Like those old guys who spend all their free time drinking. Who the hell wants to look like that? Yuck. I have to strength train my upper body. I'm also finding that chugging water can counteract if I accidentally ingest too much caffeine and get a headache because of it. And just chugging water can counteract that, and so I won't suffer with headaches. And then it comes easier to lose weight because I can deal with this grumbling in the belly. That doesn't bother me. It's the headache, it's the hunger headaches that I didn't like. And I guess I'll just end this one stressing the point. I don't want to push too much. God's been pretty good to me. I got this beautiful home all to myself now. Of course, I have unanswered prayers. Of course, any intelligent being would. But I don't want to push too much. That's why I'm content with whatever comes my way. And since I began this video talking about Bill and Ted, I decided to end talking about the theory of the theory that all life is music. All of this life, the stars, the planet, the universe, is the result of a symphony created by a supreme, benevolent being. I think that's a cool theory. I think it's just as thought-provoking as the theory of intelligent design. The fact that there is visible order on a subatomic level in life. I believe I've philosophized enough for one video. Mike Barilak, thank you for your time.